more video tonight, and that is the sequel Ninja Turtles film, Out of the Shadows. Now, before I get into it, one thing I forgot to do in the last video is give a rating for the 2014 film, and out of 5 appliers, get it, 5 appliers? Out of 5 appliers, I rate it 3.5 out of 5. That is my rating for the first film. Now it's time to get into the second film, because I enjoyed the second film more than the first film, definitely. It definitely had a lot more nostalgia factors. It brought a lot more characters from the original cartoon into this film. We got Bebop and Rocksteady, we got Baxter Stockman, we got Krang, and I want to talk about, and Casey Jones, of course. Almost forgot about that. Yeah, almost forgot about it. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk about all these characters, and I want to talk about the Turtles as well. I definitely like the Turtles a lot more in this film. We do see the Turtles a lot more in this film, and we see the dynamics between them, and I just like that so much more. And I like just how they play off each other a lot more in this film, and I really like that. I really liked that they reduced Megan Fox's role and Will Arnett's role in this movie. They reduced those characters a lot more in this movie, so you don't see them as much, but they're still there, and when they are there, their performances aren't too bad. They're actually a little bit better than the first film. I kind of like April O'Neil a little bit better in this film, and I like Vernon a little bit better in this film. Some of his scenes are actually entertaining and funny in this movie, and they're not, annoying. So I like their characters a little more in this film than in the last one. And in the last one, we saw them too much. And this one, we saw them just perfectly enough. And those are the two characters that I would rather see as supporting characters. And I liked that a lot more about this film. And a lot of the things that I liked about this movie are just like entertaining moments between all these different characters. Bebop and Rocksteady are probably the best relationship in this film. We definitely get the buddy feeling towards these two characters. They're these criminals who are going to prison with Shredder. Shredder was going into the prison in the film. This is a spoiler review. I'm gonna talk about things that happened in the movie. So Shredder's going to jail, because of the events of the last film. They sort of retconned the events from the last film a little bit, and we see Shredder going to jail, and Bebop and Rocksteady are in the car with Shredder, and shit goes down. Shredder gets out. Bebop and Rocksteady get out. Bebop and Rocksteady go to this little bar. Shredder finds them, and Bebop and Rocksteady become Shredder's, slaves or whatever. And yeah, they're buddy, and I like that. I like their relationship. They're funny together, and I like that. And it's just a joy to watch them every time they're on screen, and especially when they become their actual characters, like be as the mutants, as the rhinoceros and the warthog. When they're those characters, when they're in those, mutilated creature like bodies, it's pretty cool. And I like their action scenes. It's pretty cool, especially with the Turtles. It's pretty entertaining, and there's a lot of entertaining moments, a lot of nostalgia factors in this movie. They bring Krang in this movie, which I like Krang. I like his appearance. I like his design, and they did well with the design, but the character didn't really have any development. It was just there. It was just there for the big final battle, because we see the final battle is in the Technodrome being built, and it's technodrome, just very Transformers-y. And speaking of Transformers, a lot earlier in this film, when Michelangelo is visiting this Halloween party up top in the city, there's this funny moment where Michelangelo meets this person who's dressed in a Bumblebee outfit, Bumblebee from the Transformers movies, and I thought that was funny. That was cool. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie that I really liked more than the first film, and this just like the big battle scene, the third act. It's okay. I mean, it's not great. I mean, we've seen this kind of battle before in the first film, where the turtles fight this big giant robot on a high rise. We saw that before in the first film, but that was Shredder, Transformer Shredder, and then we see Krang is a giant robot, and in the last film, Shredder was a giant robot, and turtles were fighting these characters on these these high rises or whatever you call them, and it's just too similar, and it's a cool fight. The battle between Krang and the Turtles, the fights were pretty cool, but they also kept like going back between other things going on, like April and Fern, going up against that woman, Shredder's assistant. I don't remember her name, but that happens. Other things happen, and I would like to say something about Baxter Stockman, because I like Tyler Perry as a comedian actor. I mean, I haven't really seen anything that he's in, but I know him as an actor, as a comedian actor, and I like his character as Baxter Stockman a little bit, but there's these moments where he's just tries to do a little bit over the top, kind of like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, where Tyler Perry's like, Baxter Stockman has these moments where he wants to laugh, and it's just weird. It's just it's something like that. It's a little weird. They kind of make a goof out of Baxter Stockman in this movie, like a spoof, or I don't know. I mean, it's like a mix of a nerdy Baxter Stockman and the Baxter Stockman that we've seen in like the 2012 CGI animated series. It's like a mix of that Baxter Stockman with the more nerdy side as well, like from the original cartoon. I mean, it's like two different versions of Baxter Stockman mixed together in this film. Yeah, that's what I'd say about that. And Shredder in this movie, I definitely like Shredder better in this film because, has a more he's not a giant robot in this film. They make him human in this movie, and I like that. But at the same time, I don't like that because he's human, but we don't see him interact with the turtles really at all. And that's a bit of a disappointment because I want to see this version of the Shredder fight the turtles, and I assume we'll see that again in a future film if they're lucky enough to make another film. At the end of the movie, we see Shredder being frozen by Krang in this prison, and that's something to say because I think if Krang revives Shredder, unfreezes him or whatever, takes him out of the prison or something, or if Shredder breaks out with the help of some other prisoner or whatever will happen if they make another film. They probably will make another film, and cool. I'm looking forward to another film when they make another one and see hopefully how Shredder escapes from that imprisonment and being frozen in ice. I'm interested in seeing that. And another thing about this movie that I didn't like as much is Casey Jones. Stephen Amell plays Casey Jones in this film, and I like Stephen Amell. He's a nice guy, and he's a funny guy, and we definitely see that as he plays Casey Jones in this film, but it's not really the Casey Jones I want to see. You know, Stephen Amell's personality in this film is what I want to see out of the Green Arrow. This is the kind of personality I want to see out of the Green Arrow character on the Arrow TV show. But, you know, the Arrow TV show is just basically the Dark Knight trilogy, but Green Arrow style. Just, I want to see Stephen Amell's actual personality play out in the Green Arrow character, not in the Casey Jones character. I want to see something more like the Casey Jones from the 2003 animated series. You know, a more hardcore Casey Jones, and it actually has long hair. That's the kind of Casey Jones I want to see in a live action film, not what we got in this one. I don't really like how Casey Jones was played out in this film. I mean, I like Stephen Amell as an actor. He's a good actor, and I think he can play this role well, but he just gave his own, like, self in this film. We see Stephen Amell play Stephen Amell, and that's not what I want to see. I want to see Casey Jones. Excuse me. So that's what I want to say about pretty much all the characters in this film. I like most of them. Just not Casey Jones. So those are all of my thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. I definitely like this movie a lot more than the first film. Although, I mean, there's one thing to say about this film, and it's that it does have a lot more subplots in this film, and that might seem a little more jarring if you're like a fan of plot of a film that's a little more linear. Then you might not like this film, but I mean, the plot of this film is simple, but there are other like subplots thrown in there and stuff, and sometimes could be a little jarring for other people who don't really like that. And also, people would not like how the plot is too simple because, you know, adults don't want to see a plot that's too simple, and that's something that people wouldn't like. I mean, I didn't like that. I mean, that didn't bother me too much, but I did enjoy this movie a lot more than the first one. And out of 5 players, I rate it 4 out of 5. 5 players. So that is my review on Out of the Shadows. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time tomorrow with my Conjuring movie review and with my Conjuring 2 movie review. I'll be seeing Conjuring 2 tomorrow during the day, and I am excited to review both movies tomorrow because I love the first film, and I've heard a lot of good reviews about the second film, and I am just really excited to see the second film, and I will see you guys tomorrow with those 2 reviews. So check you guys out tomorrow, and bye. Peace.